The MT82 is out. Almost. Pretty much. I guess today we're gonna find out if you can fit a whole MT82 transmission in your Mustang, because we're installing this thing, finally. So we're just gonna take off all the bolts that are holding this thing to the wood pallet, and then once all of those are out, I guess we're carrying this thing. It's gonna be interesting. Gonna destroy my back. Jesus. Now that that's all disassembled, we're actually gonna have to lift this thing straight up because it's on studs. You ready for that?
Oh yeah.
Honest, this thing isn't even heavy. The TH400 was like way heavier that I picked up recently. Okay, let's throw it in the car. Yep. Which way do you want? Crap. Oh my God. We sustained minor damage, but the entire MT82 is in there. So like I said, a lot lighter than the TH400 that I uninstalled the other day. I could barely carry that myself. I'll show you all what that looked like. I was like doing a weird crab walk because it was so heavy.
Bro, Toby, what are you doing? That thing's like 600 pounds.
This thing was light. It's just kind of hard to get in the car because of the angles and that type of stuff. Man, both of these cars look so sick together. This is the first time that they're both been driven at the same time. I think the first time since I put this new blower on, so it's pretty sick. I don't know. I'm letting Anthony drive this car, and he's an 18-year-old. He's driving it all the way back from the track. Because obviously I'm installing the transmission on the Mustangs, and this is kind of sketch. And yeah, that's my stock MT82 coming out of the car right now. Oh man, that thing is heavy. Yep. That ain't no joke.
Oh, you can.
You need to get the pry bar?
I got it.
Coming.
Go down, buddy.
Go down? It's ready. Keep going, it's just gonna pour a lot of fluid everywhere.
Hold it, stop.
Yeah, you're good.
Keep going?
Yeah, I can go up.
Take her all the way down. Real
My
nice
bad.
and easy.
The MT82 is out. Almost. Pretty much. After rest for, I don't know, a couple minutes. More than that. A couple minutes is an understatement. We finally got it. This thing was a pain to drag out through the back of the car. It is definitely heavy, heavier with fluid. I underestimated that because I lifted that one up with ease. But next we got to take out the clutch, which is in there, and I toasted that thing at the speed of dyno day. This is the clutch that was supposed to be good for 800 wheel. Well, yeah, it didn't last very long, and I glazed it when I was, that sounds messed up, but I glazed it when I was racing Parker, and it slipped and I couldn't finish a quarter-mile pass. That's the last time this car has been at the drag strip because of this clutch. Calimer gives you some very specific instructions. You gotta do 2 3/4 quarts of this AMSOIL he provides. So it's manual transmission and trans-axle gear lube. Daniel's letting it eat right now, and this is obviously the new built trans. And I think the clutch is ready to come off. Oh Lord. There's like literally nothing left on this. Look at this.
Yeah, there's a lot of heat in that wheel there, dude.
Nice. They don't have torque spits to take out the flywheel, so we're gonna take Daniel's VMP supercharged Mustang, grab her blue SIG. It makes like 830 wheel, I'm pretty sure, and he's got a built Calimer transmission. What? You have a screen? Yeah. That's sick.
Ready?
Mm-hmm. Go ahead. How my car did with the Whipple.
A few moments later.
Question is it gonna pop right off or to pry it off?
Oh, they come off, I think.
Right. Yes, my pilot bearing goes there. You also have a different counter elector wheel.
that thing that we were beating down was actually the metal ring adapter for the Uni Clutch. So that's gonna go straight to the flywheel and the clutch. And basically it allows me to run this clutch plate without doing all that clutch alignment stuff, which is pretty cool. And we're just putting in the bolts for it. So torque spec is 20 foot-pounds for the ring to the clutch. And then we'll torque it down with the torque wrench in just a second. Then per Uni Clutch, they recommended some thread locker on there, obviously because we're gonna have some heat going through there, as well as affiliations and stuff like that. So I wanna make sure that those bolts do not come loose. Just to clarify, the torque spec is actually 70 foot-pound, but I just wanted to show you all the process of actually getting the flywheel on there. We already did it, and we're just gonna show you what we did. I had to hold the plate though. So yeah, pretty simple stuff. I'm getting that Uni Clutch in here, and it is a pain to crawl under here. We really need a lift, but you guys get the point. That thing is gonna bolt up to the flywheel, even though it doesn't actually use the flywheel as a friction surface. That's the cool thing about that clutch, and it doesn't require any sort of alignment. So you just literally put those bolts in and you're done. Clutch looks beautiful up there, almost like your Mantic, but yeah, we're torquing it down. Did the full ring, so that's ready to go. So went ahead and threw in that steel clutch line. So the factory one is like some sort of weirdness, but apparently this gets rid of a lot of the issues. I don't really know how, it doesn't make much sense to me. It's just a steel line, but we did the upgrade. Right now we're just making the final adjustments to the shifter to make sure that it actually hits every gear, because it can show some resistance if you don't adjust it. So you do that with the Allen keys on each side on the top. Super simple stuff. You see? Doesn't want to hit second.
Yeah.
Last little check with Daniel here to make sure it shifts every gear.
Bench bleed this slave cylinder so the air doesn't get trapped in here because it's super hard to get out. You just put it on and then the clutch is going to feel all spongy. So you just put the tip in. All you do is actuate the air until you don't get any more air out of the slave, because you can see now it's full, there's no bubbles coming out.
That's all it is.
Yep.
I don't know, Daniel, kind of walking it like an old man.
I am old. You have the handle?
It's going up, right? Yeah. Stretch, so I just torqued the bolts down to the drive shaft. Daniel got the rear ones. I think she's ready, besides the exhaust. Exhaust is now fully back on. Sorry, we're in a rush. It's like way too late for this. Starter's back on. Got all the bell housing bolts. So she's ready for the first start. I'm pretty excited, but also kind of fed up with this. I think Daniel is too. This is the official first start with the Calimer MT82. Make sure that the wheels are spinning the right way in first gear. There we go. I didn't show you all this last night, but actually when I drove it home from Daniel's, the car did not want to shift into any gear. Turns out that we did not bleed the entire system with the new clutch line enough. So the solution here was to pump the clutch like crazy. So just kick down the clutch pedal, because the Mustangs actually have a concentric slave cylinder. And what that does is it allows it to self-bleed with clutch engagement. So you just pump and pump and pump. Did you all not? But I was so upset about the entire thing. I was convinced the transmission was broken because it wouldn't shift into any gear, especially second gear. And I got off the highway, tried to shift into first, didn't let me, tried to shift into anything, completely would not disengage the clutch. And it turned out it was because there was still air in the clutch line. So the slave cylinder couldn't fully compress and disengage the clutch. The clutch was engaged at all times. No gears could be selected. I even tried to hit fifth gear And guess what happened? It grinded 5th and 6th. And trust me, fellas, if you spend 10 hours doing a transmission job and that was the result, you'd be very upset too. So I didn't even want to film. I was mad, and I had to get home using 1st, 3rd, and 4th. I had to skip 2nd gear, go straight to 3rd, and then I pulled back to 4th. Every time I would try to pull back to 5th or 6th, it would grind. So what I did today, as I was explaining, was just pump the clutch, and that fixed the problem. So if you decide to do a Calimer MT82, put a T56 in your car that has a concentric slave cylinder, anything with a concentric slave cylinder, make sure to pump the clutch and bleed the system fully. I didn't do it enough, and I sat there for about 10 minutes pumping it. Same time, my shifter, which is the Barton Hybrid 3, which reduces the throw by 25% compared to the stock shifter, needs an alignment. So we threw it in the car, and I just need to adjust the shifting because it's still a little bit difficult to get into 2nd and 6th gear. Hopefully I can just adjust it by taking off the boot and the shifter, and it'll be a quick fix. This is never a fun time removing these things because like they have plastic clips, so it sounds like stuff is breaking, and it's super easy to break, but that's all off. And then I think, yeah, if I recall correctly, I need to cut this zip tie because it's holding the boot down, and then I can pull the rubber upper portion off, and then there's a lower portion, and we can fix or adjust this thing. The boot just comes out, and these are the adjustment bolts. So you've got 4 Allen keys on each side, and you can slide it left to right and hopefully fix that problem. We'll see in just a second. It's difficult to see, but you can see the plate is sliding to the left and right. And I'm just gonna put it more towards the middle now so I can actually hit 2nd. Just wanna make sure everything is good before I put this back together. I centered that ring right in the middle. Let's see if it's easy to hit 2nd gear now. Yep, as you can tell, that is awesome. So it just slides right on in, no problem whatsoever. Let's see 5th. 5th is also good, and also 6th. It just needed that slight little adjustment, and we're golden now. We can put it back together. To think that this thing wasn't shifting into any gear and was grinding like crazy yesterday blows my mind, you know? That's on me though, should have bled it more. Do it for the built MT82 install with the Barton Hybrid 3 short throw shifter. I got to do 1,000 break-in miles. I need to do 500 clutch engagements to break everything in, and then we'll go straight to the dyno with 19 pounds of boost to make over 1,000. That's the goal with this setup right here, because it probably will. 10-speed cars, you know, 651 my garage is making 950 wheel, and he has all that drivetrain loss with an automatic, so this thing should get close to touching 1,000 with the manual setup. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please remember to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.